Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the Kapha dosha. And the Kapha dosha is that very sweet person that can irritate you sometimes. So Kapha is made of the two elements of earth and water. So when you mix earth and water, you have kind of like a mud. And so it has this quality of being cold and humid and dense and thick and kind of soft, and it doesn't run easily. It's more stagnant, and it's kind of like glue. So kapha is structure to our body. So it's the muscle, it's the fat, it's the bone, it's the tendon, it's the ligaments, the synovial fluid, it's the liquid that lubricates your joints. It's also has a function of protection of the body and giving it solidity. So it's the glue that holds the body together. And in terms of physical characteristics, the kapha baby, when it's born, it's usually that larger baby. It's they tend to be tall and sturdy people, or short and stocky people. They're heavier than other people. They don't lose weight as easily as the vata, and the pitta is kind of stable in their weight. They find it hard to lose weight. So they have large bone structure and broad shoulders and bigger hips. The joints are big and well formed and lubricated. They have a lot of muscle, so they would be the endomorphs. They have a solid musculature. Their skin is thick, oily, pale, or white, and it's kind of cool to the touch. They have plentiful hair. It's thick, tends to be a little bit more wavy. It has a lot of shine to it, and it's generally brown. The face is large and rounded and full. The neck is solid like a tree trunk. The nose is large and rounded. The eyes are large and prominent. They can be blue or light brown and any shade in between. They have very attractive eyes. They have big, white, strong teeth and strong gums. Have large mouths and fuller, bigger lips. They tend to sweat moderately, but they sweat even when they're not exercising. And they tend to dislike the cold weather. Winter is very tough on kaphas. They tend to get a little depressed. They get the winter blues more than other, which is surprising because vata hates the cold, but vata is really aggravated in the fall because of the season. They sleep deeply and plentifully. They love to sleep. They have slow elimination, meaning of the bowels, and it's a lot and it's heavy. They have lackadaisical activity level, good stamina. They have a good fertility. They actually have good health in general. When kapha is not out of balance, when it is a very balanced kapha person, they have a very good body and very good health because all the structure is very, very good. Their speech is slowed, but it may be labored, and that's why sometimes they irritate people because they move slow and they understand things very slowly. This does not mean that they're intellectually challenged. No, they can be very smart or not, but they tend to take longer to learn things. And then those are the people that really don't catch things in the air like the vata. The vata are very intuitive, and they kind of perceive things and understand things without having to explain. Somebody explain it to them. Kaphas are those people that you kind of have to explain the joke for them to get it. And they take their time to learn, but once they learn, they're very good memory. They hold on to the memories very, very well. And they have deep, steady beliefs that are not easily changed, very caring, and they have a very steady and regular lifestyle. They like routine. They like to do every day the same thing, but when they're stuck in a rut, since kaphas are not linked to movement, they're linked to being stagnant. When they're out of balance, they can be stuck in a rut. And then when they're out of balance, they can be a little bit greedy and possessive because they're hoarders as well. If they're out of balance, they don't like to let go of people, of things, of emotions as well. So that's what happens when they're out of balance. And then just from this other book, I like to pull some of the things here just to make sure that we're hitting all the points. So the appetite is slow and steady for them. They tend not to have a lot of thirst either. They can go long times without eating and they're fine. But they can eat very well too when they do. Calm, The emotions are calm, greedy, and have attachment, possessiveness. The faith consistent, deep, and mellow. The intellect is slow, but they're very exact. So they're very detail oriented. The recollection is slow and sustained, and their dreams are of lakes and snow and romantic. They do tend to be more romantic. And for financial aspects, since they're very good at holding on, they're more rich. They are financially successful, but they also can become very greedy. And they preserve money very well. What else here? So their purity, the good aspects is love, compassion, forgiveness, but then the bad side is attachment, greed, possessiveness, deep confusion, unconsciousness, coma, and depression. And so the diseases of kapha, when it is aggravated, it's more like congestion, so mucus in the stools and sinus infections and pneumonia and stuff that is like mucus producing and buildup of stuff, of toxins and things like that. And the season of the year that is kapha predominant is the spring, so that is when things are growing and a new life is coming. Also during our lifespan, childhood is a kapha season because of growth and development. And then the time of day that is kapha is from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. So it's time to go to sleep between 6 and 10 p.m. because that's the kapha time when things are slowing down and you're calming down. And there's that serenity that comes from the kapha energy. But it's also important for you to wake up as early as you can before kapha time, or at least really at the beginning of kapha time, because the later you sleep into that kapha time past 6 o'clock, you tend to get a little bit lazier and sluggish. So the kapha person tends to be a little bit more obese when they're out of balance. So they tend to hold on to weight and have obesity, have diabetes, overeating. They tend to be very lazy. This is all when they're out of balance, of course. They tend to be very depressed, stagnant, and all that I talked about. So that was kapha for y'all. Oh, okay. The organ of kapha is stomach and lungs. And we will be talking next about how to put these things that are out of balance, these 3 doshas that are could be out of balance in your life, back to balance, and also to take care of your constitution. You're born with dosha. So kapha is one that a lot of people nowadays tend to be, especially here in America, tend to be out of balance, even if they're not kapha types. They tend to be lazy and sedentary and overeating and sleeping out of time or sleeping too much, napping too much. Napping is not good for kaphas because that just makes them more lazy and more sedentary and more overweight, and movement is very good for kaphas. So like I said, the opposites will soothe. So if something is very stagnant, you want to bring movement to it, right? All right, so that is the end of the videos about the doshas, and I will start a new sequence of videos about how to balance them. So let me know if you think you're a kapha or if you have a aggravated kapha at the moment.